Imagine a book so full of football magic that it takes you on a journey through the greatest moments the game has ever seen and gives you the top 100 record-breaking football moments of all time. Well, Football for Kids listeners, I've got you covered. This year's Guinness World Records Football Edition 2026 is packed with unstoppable goals, mind-blowing skills and record-breaking legends. You'll travel through time on the World Cup timeline, flick and trick your way through the freestyle challenge with world champion Isabel Wilkins, and go on the touchline with the likes of Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti and Serena Wiegmann. If you're football crazy, this is a must-have. Get your Guinness World Records Football Edition 2026 book today via the link in the episode description. Who is your favourite darts player? If you said Luke Littler, trust me, you would not be alone. And guess what? Target Darts have been with Luke right from the very beginning. Before he was a world champion, Luke was just like you, a kid who loved throwing darts and having fun. And Target were there from day one, helping him on his journey all the way to the top. Now you can play like Luke too. Target has loads of awesome Luke Littler gear, from the Nuke magnetic dartboard that's perfect for your first throws, to the Littler Generation 1, the actual darts used to win the 2025 World Championships. And if you want to make your game even cooler, check out Target's Omni Auto scoring system. It does all the scoring for you, so you can just focus on throwing and having fun. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the next world champion. Head to www.target-darts.co.uk to find out more.
When you think boots, you think Ariat. You think comfort from day one and durability to day 1,000. You think steel toes on the job, square toes on the dance floor, with style that owns a Saturday night and still looks sharp enough for Sunday dinner. And through every mile and every moment, you're thinking Ariat boots. Boots that show up, stand out, turn bad ideas into better stories, and still punch the clock come Monday morning. Now, it's time to stop thinking and start shopping. Find your Ariat boots at Ariat.com or a retailer near you.
Sports Social Podcast Network, the biggest voices in sport. Let's take a look at some of the lineup, tops and tails.
And he goes, "All right, mate, do you want the darts?" and thing, and I'm like, what darts?
The Anfield Wrap.
Off the field, Liverpool have done everything they possibly could to achieve dominance now.
The Analyst Inside Cricket.
It was announced over the PA system that I was out of the test for injury. A massive cheer went up around the ground. Probably the biggest cheer I've got in the UK.
All on Europe's biggest sport podcast network. Find your next favourite sport podcast. Search Sports Social Podcast Network and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Verified comparison at content.sport-social.co.uk/comparison.
To this very special Super Week with me, Darren Rees. This Super Week is brought to you by the Guinness World Records Football Edition 2026, which you can buy via the link in the description of this episode. In this episode, we're going to be talking about managers and that famous football terrace chant which all managers dread, which goes, "You're getting sacked in the morning, sacked in the morning." Oh, who'd be a manager? Anyway, we're going to ask a big question around managers and them getting sacked. And that question is simple. Do managers get sacked too soon these days? Are they getting the opportunity to shine and really make the team work? Or do the fans and the owners expect too much from the managers much too soon? That is the theme of this episode, and we are going to explore that and loads of different moments in history of where managers have nearly got sacked and been booted out the door. So, As I record this today, it was only a few days ago that Ange Postecoglou had been sacked as Nottingham Forest manager after lasting just 39 days. And it got me thinking about managers getting sacked in general, and how the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson spent nearly 3 decades at Manchester United, and how Arsene Wenger spent 22 years at Arsenal. But Ange lasting 39 days is quite something. However, let me tell you, there are managers who didn't last more than 10 minutes. And I'm not joking. We're going to get into it straight after this. This Christmas, something magical has arrived for Football for Kids listeners all around the world. For the very first time ever, the Football Time Machine limited edition collector's frame is here. Each one is signed and numbered by me, Darren Rees, and only 250 of them will ever exist. Inside every frame is a golden QR code, and that is where the magic begins. That golden QR code unlocks 3 special things. The first and only video podcast I've ever made, a kids versus adults play-along with 3 exclusive games that you can play at home, and a brand new audio story, Teddy and the Tale of the Football Time Machine. The frame will look incredible wherever you listen to the podcast in your home. There are only 250 of these special Christmas releases that will ever make it out. So if you want to own a piece of Football for Kids history and give a lucky listener a very special present, please email darren@footballforkidspodcast.com and you will receive an email instantly telling you how you can get your hands on one. The Football Time Machine. Once they're gone, they are gone. So, poor old Ange, 39 days, 8 games, 6 losses, 2 draws, 0 wins, out the door at Nottingham Forest. I can hear the Forest fans yelling and celebrating because they want results. Maybe you're not. Maybe Forest fans, you're thinking he should have been given more of an opportunity. But that is the whole point of this episode. Do Premier League managers ever get enough time to make the team their own? Now, as you listen to this, I want you to think about that question. And if you listen on Spotify, please reply in the comments. If you listen on Apple, you can put it into a 5-star review. And if you're listening on Patreon, then you can comment on the post. So let's wind the clock back to the grey winter of 1989 to 1990. Sir Alex Ferguson was still newish at Manchester United. United went 7 without a win and the mood was nasty. There was a banner, a huge banner, a gigantic banner at Old Trafford, which read, 3 years of excuses and still rubbish. Ta-ra, Fergie. Then, a little twist of fate. A cup tie away at Nottingham Forest. The story flipped. United went on to lift the FA Cup trophy more than 4 months later, and Fergie became the bloke many reckon now is the greatest gaffer who's ever lived. Proof that 7 rough games do not have to be the end. Across to North London, Arsene Wenger lived a different sort of drama at Arsenal. There were invincible seasons, title parades, but there were also long, grumpy seasons with very little silverware at all. But the club kept the faith for more than 2 decades. A level of patience that we just don't see anymore. So, there's that question again. Do managers these days, especially in the Premier League, get enough time to turn it round? First of all, let's do some stopwatch stuff. Sam Allardyce, otherwise known as Big Sam. He was the manager at Leeds United in 2023. 30 days, 3 defeats, 1 draw, no wins, and cheers Sam, see you later. That's what Leeds United did to Big Sam. Then there was a bloke called Les Reed who was at Charlton Athletic in 2006. He lasted 40 days and he was gone. Then there was a bloke called Frank de Boer at Crystal Palace who actually lasted 77 days thanks to an international break in 2017. 4 league games, 0 points. You guessed it, see you later, Big Frank.
outside the Premier League, there's one which is too bonkers for us to ignore, and that was a bloke called Leroy Rosenoir. He was the manager at Torquay United for 10 minutes. You think I'm joking, don't you? I'm not joking. 10 minutes he lasted. It was 2007. He was announced as the manager. The club got taken over, and then the new owner said, nope, not for us. He had a cup of tea, and off he went. 10 minutes. So why do clubs get rid of managers so quickly? In one word, it all comes down to this results word. If you are in the bottom half of the table, there's a big fear of relegation. It's like someone leaving the front door open in midwinter. I bet your adults have said it to you. Shut that door, you're letting all warm air out. Assuming that your adults are from the north. Anyway, forget it. Managers start to feel it all around the ground. Frank Lampard called it a love-hate mentality, with social media turning every wobble into a crisis and every win into a parade. The mood swings make sackings come faster. And ultimately, because of the online presence of fans making their voices so loud these days, the owners act quickly. And then there's the dressing room sagas. You hear all the time, the manager has lost the dressing room. And when you hear that, it's because they say that the manager has no longer got the belief from their players or the respect. And when that's gone, there's only one way it's going. And that is with the manager going out the fire exit door with a cardboard box full of their belongings. Sometimes they win big shiny things and still get handed the cardboard box. Claudio Ranieri gave Leicester City the 5,000-1 title in 2016. By February 2017, with results dipping, he was sacked. Jaws were on the floor everywhere. This was a man who got them the title when nobody believed that they could do it. Jose Mourinho won the title with Chelsea and then was sacked by the December. Carlo Ancelotti, he got the elbow after winning Chelsea the double. The thing is, sometimes success elsewhere is the problem. Owners fancy a new shinier name or a fresh idea. That is how Nigel Adkins, with back-to-back promotions at Southampton, ended up out the door, and Mauricio Pochettino came in during 2013. A different vision from the club, and off he went. Absolutely ruthless. Now, I told you the Fergie tale earlier on, but it's worth underlining. The board held their nerve where others wanted to press the panic button at that time. The narrow FA Cup win at Nottingham Forest kept the door open, and decades later, trophies walked through it. So Nottingham Forest fans, if the door was left open, could you have been in Europe? Could you have been winning the FA Cup if Big Ange was given the opportunity? Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts. A more modern example of loyalty paying off was West Ham United, who stuck with David Moyes. It was a difficult time for the club, and they were doing awful in the league. But they went on to lift European silverware in 2023. If they had given David the elbow, would they have gone on to lift that trophy? Burnley stuck with Sean Dyche after relegation in 2015, and he got the club to bounce straight back. But let's be honest, examples like that are getting rarer and rarer. So, we've got to go back to those two examples at the start. Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United, 1986 to 2013. He took the club from grumbles and banners to 13 Premier League titles, and he made the club one of the most successful British clubs in history because he was given the opportunity and he was given the time. Arsene Wenger at Arsenal was 1996 to 2018. 22 years, tactical revolutions, the Invincibles, a new stadium, and an identity stamped on the club. It's amazing how much things have changed in the most recent of years. So, a fairly short episode, but a few stats and facts and stories in there. What do you think? Do managers get the opportunity to turn it round, and do they get the time that they need to do so? Well, that brings this episode to an end. Thank you very much for listening. And remember, if you know someone who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about the Football for Kids podcast. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly or pitch side. I hope that you enjoy the game. See you next time. Oh, and don't forget, Guinness World Records Football Edition 2026 is out now, and you can buy it via the link in the description of this episode.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.